wearing a t-shirt that says never made.
I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.
Welcome back to Never Made Weight. Today we got the Power Slap Heavyweight Champ. Let me repeat that. We got the Power Slap Heavyweight Champ, Damien Dibbell. Damien, how are you feeling?
What's going on, man? Sorry, it keeps lagging a bit.
It's all good. It's all good. You just got done defending your belt for the fourth time, right? In New Orleans against Wesley Mena. What's next for you?
At this point, just whoever they sent my way. Like I've done enough, I've defended enough that I feel like it doesn't matter who you put in front of me. I'm going to knock them down. So I'm waiting for legacy fights. I'm waiting for them to tell me to go up, go down, take on another legend of the sport and prove that I'm the best.
Hell yeah. Okay. Who do you feel is most worthy to challenge you for your belt now?
At this point, the only person I could say is Dorian. He's the one that put up the most fight. There's a lot of what ifs in our fight, and I don't like what ifs. I like to be certain about every single one of my victories, so I'd love to run it back with him.
Have you thought about going up or down for double champ status?
I'm down for either. I'm it's just whichever direction they want me to go, I'm going.
Company man, you would say?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's part company man, part I've been talking about going up, but I'm not opposed to, looking a little shredded, getting a little lean, going down to 205. So to me, it really don't matter.
Damien, you're only 23 years old, bro. But you're only 23 and you're already considered a veteran in the sport, obviously, besides your 4 title defenses, right? You're 6-0 in power slap, and you were a champion at another promotion before this. So you're a vet. Do you feel like your opponents take that into consideration when they're matched up with you? Like, do they? What is their like? What does a veteran know that I don't? It seems very simple, right? You're standing up there to slap, but actually, there's a lot behind it. Can you tell us a little bit about your preparation for these matchups?
Yeah, I feel like just with experience, you learn the nuances of the sport. You learn to judge decisions. You learn how to, drive that power without causing penalty. Your accuracy is a lot better. Going against me, they know that they're going to have an accurate hit all 5 rounds. Well, usually an accurate hit all 5 rounds. I'm not going to step. I'm not going to club. So you got to be bringing your A game. You can't be pulling penalties against me, or else you're going to lose a decision. And I'm going to drag everybody to a decision if you don't get knocked out.
Yeah, I've seen you've had a couple decisions. I don't think I've seen you rocked. Have you ever been rocked?
I've been wobbled a little bit against Dorian, and I think my one match against
Dorian,
Ron
yeah.
in the last
Would you
round kind
would
of
you
wobbled.
say he's the hardest hitter you faced?
Dorian, oh yeah, I feel like he has done the most damage consistently in our match compared to a lot of the other guys who really didn't even get the chance to do that.
So, I mean, there's not much to say about your career besides it's been very dominant. But outside of power slap, what do you spend your time doing? What are your hobbies? What are your interests?
Uh, right now I'm going back to school, going looking at law schools. Might go back for engineering first though. I like anime. I like technical stuff. I like video games. Getting back into gaming since I've had a bit of free time during the move, and just working out, training. I've started BJJ, started boxing, so getting into that whole sports world and just really keeping my time busy, keeping focused, and grinding towards something better.
Sounds like a fun life, bro. Congratulations on such a fruitful career in such a short time. Um, do you what's the like biggest celebrity that's reached out to you or given you props or something yet?
I've had a couple big names, hit me up, give me props. I think the one I appreciated most was like Theo Vaughn. I've been a personal fan of his for the longest time, so him reaching out, well, not meeting him in the after party and giving me my props for my match and stuff like that. That's probably one of the cooler moments of meeting celebrities outside of the event.
Are you close with any of the other power slap athletes?
Yeah, I'm close to Dwayne. I'm actually staying with him while we're finding a place up here in New York. Um, there's a couple of guys at Cooper and his family. We got closer during the last event, and really just I like to be friendly with everybody. I feel like I've built a lot of good relationships, especially with the guys that have been around the sport a long time.
Got it. Yeah, I've noticed that in the power slap company in general, the athletes, the staff, they're very, very cool people. Everyone's really easy to get to know and stuff. So, Damien, when it's all said and done, right? When you look back at everything, when you retire years from now, what do you want people to say about your legacy?
I honestly just want people to appreciate how hardworking I've been, and that no matter what, I always try to be a positive influence on people. And even though it's a violent sport, we we're not always a violent type of people. We try to put good back out in the world and try to do better.
Got it. Got it. Now, let me ask you this: during the matches, right? When you're about to take a slap, um, do you inhale real quick? I've noticed this with a couple athletes. They inhale real quick. Do you do that?
No, I don't really inhale as much as like exhaling and biting down. And honestly, that's really all I've done for the past couple matches. I'm working on some defensive techniques in case I go against Dorian again, but pretty much I just stand there and bite down.
What about working out your neck and your traps? Is that part of
But
the
yeah,
training regimen?
but yeah, all the time. Just working traps, shoulders, building your power through your lats and core. It's a really a full body exercise and just getting in better shape in general.
I'm sure Power Slap reached out to you first, right? Because you're already doing Power Slap. How did you get into slap fighting the first time?
I messaged the Instagram, submitted an application on the SFC website, and they kind of gave me like a little ask for like how tall I was, my weight, if I had any experience, and just basically if I was willing to do it and my build, so they could match me up with somebody. And they were like, "All right, be here at this location at this time. That's all. We'll pay you once you get up here." And I just kind of sense it, and it's just
Sick,
been hitting me
sick.
ever since.
That's sick, dude. Um, were you an athlete before this, like growing up?
I played soccer growing up. I was
What
honestly I was a
position?
chubby kid, so goalie, midfield, forward. I moved up
Oh, okay.
years progressed. Yeah, my
Yeah.
parents saw me as a chubby kid, so they're like, "You need to go run." So they put me in soccer for most of it. Did a season of basketball, and then before I got into SFC, I was training to get a boxing match, which ended up never happening because I was doing SFC and then Power Slap, and then I won a title, and now I'm not allowed to do boxing or any other combat sport
So you have experience in combat sports?
other than street fighting. No, this
Street
is the
fighting?
only. Yeah, that's what I say all the time. It was like I fought people before, never in a ring.
Yeah, but this time you're getting paid.
Yeah, it
This
definitely
time
makes it a
you're
little bit better.
hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. For sure. So you think like your experiences on the street formulated anything like that made you what you are today as far as like the striker you are, the chin you have?
I feel like it gives you the self confidence to even go up there and do what we're doing, just because I know I could take a hit from being hit before. On the street, you get hit, you know what you could handle, and you know what power you deliver from those fights. So I had the self confidence to even sign up and be like, I feel like I could do pretty all right in that sport.
That makes a lot of sense. You follow the UFC at all or no?
No, I still don't watch the UFC.
That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I I watched the UFC grow. I love Power Slap. When I went to Power Slap 13, I just realized how fun the actual event is, right? being there as a spectator, it's
It's
insane.
so much fun. Yeah,
It's
I
insane.
tell everybody you don't know the sport really until you go to an event because it's just a giant party. No one's staying in their seats. No one's really just sitting down watching it from afar. Everyone's up, excited, jumping around, cheering on the guys. It's a whole event, and it is probably one of the more exciting sports you could actually participate in watching.
For sure. Everything was easy access too. Like I got there early and I went to this outside. They were selling food, right? And what they were selling was crazy. Have you ever seen those chip bags like Doritos, and they put carne asada in it,
Yeah, bro. Oh, those are
and
so
the
good.
sauces and shit, bro? That's
Yeah,
what they
that
were
is.
serving outside of Power Slap, right outside the door.
I wish I
And
was there for that one.
I mean, I'll be there in October. If you're not fighting on the card, come through. I mean, obviously, if you're fighting on the card, whatever, you're gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll serve you those chips, bro. You know, but
You would think they don't let us eat in the back. They're like,
no
nah, we gotta
way.
watch, monitor everything y'all consume and all that.
But when you're there, right? When you're there for that weekend, do they handle your lunch and shit?
They give you per diem. You handle your own lunch, get you a little
Sick,
per diem. Yeah, so
sick. Hey,
I'd
I
be
know
going
a
out to
couple
eat whenever I'm
spots,
there.
bro. I know a couple spots to spend that money in Vegas.
That's bet.
Hey,
Yeah, no,
man.
I've met a couple people out there that we just tour around, go out to eat, have fun, just grab a couple drinks. Because I mean, most of the training for the sport is done before you get out there. And then once you're out there, you take first day or two, have your fun, and then log back in for the event.
What about how half the place is like the spectators, right? And then on the other half, you got the VIP spectators, like the celebs and shit, right?
Yeah.
They're serving like an insane like some other food over there. Do they send those to you guys at all or no? What about after the
No,
event
but
at
I've
least?
definitely snuck a slider or two. Or I, I ain't supposed to be saying this. I ain't getting nobody in trouble, but I've definitely had
Sorry, bro.
security, let me go out and grab a quick bite to eat because I'm usually the last fight, so I'm there for 2 3 hours just sitting in the back starving. So I
Yeah.
sneak my way to get some food every once in a while.
If you're gonna be at a power slap event, what side do you think this is for the fans? Which side do you think is gonna be best to sit on? Obviously in the middle, right? But like
Yeah, middle is
right
usually the
side
best.
or left side, you think?
It depends on who you're waiting to fight, like who you're supporting. Because if you want to watch, like for me, for example, if you're supporting me and you want to see me compete, you want to be on the side on my left side because I strike from the right. Like I'm right-handed, so I'm coming from the right, so you can see the other person's face, and then you can see me receive. So it's the opposite side of the dominant hand, but some guys like to switch back and forth. It depends on if they're blue corner, red corner. So, figure out who your favorite fighter is, which hand is their dominant hand, be on the opposite side of that. That's, in my
That
opinion, the best.
that was the most blown question I've ever asked in my life, now that I realized it. But so fight one celebrity. One celebrity. Like any celebrity, right? But somebody like that's gonna be able to fight. You can't pick like Robert De Niro. You need somebody for real. Who would that celebrity be?
I don't know UFC fighters. I don't know boxers. Any heavyweight champ in anything at this point. I think Tom Aspinall is heavyweight champ. Square him up. Jake Paul, he pays his anybody that fights him getting paid. I'd fight him. Logan Paul, any of the Paul brothers want to swing, go at it. I'd fight The Rock if he paid me for it. Like it don't it really don't matter at this point.
Honestly, man, I really appreciate your time. I had a great time talking to you. I'm looking forward. You have any fight news?
No, sadly nothing yet.
Okay, well, I'll be looking forward to it. Thank you so much for your time, Damien. Guys, as I repeat, the undefeated heavyweight champion of Power Slap. Thank you, Damien Dibbell. I appreciate that, bro.
Hey, thank you, man.
wearing a t-shirt that says never made.
I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.